the struggle is, how do we replace what we have allowed society to put in us and uncover masculinity? Is who's defining it, right? And what I'm getting at right now, when we say faith and masculinity, is getting it back to a place where we let God define masculinity for the purpose for which he called it for. You understand what I'm saying? Right. What the world did was it convinced us, it defined masculinity in the way that it wanted masculinity to be, to carry out its purpose. And we got caught up in that. It's like, it's kind of, you can't really avoid it, right? What happened is, it's part of our biological makeup. It's the flesh struggling with the spirit, right? It's the need to harmonize. The body needs other bodies for protection. That's why they say we are stronger in numbers, right? And so we have to socialize. We have to learn how to take our concept of the world and harmonize it, right, with the world's concept of itself, right? And what we did, because we are guided by society and not God, we got lost. Yeah. We got lost in trying to please and fulfill the role of masculinity as they define it in society. And we moved away from it as God defined it for us. You understand what I'm saying? And now the struggle is, how do we replace what we have allowed society to put in us and uncover? Because that's another thing too. We don't really have to do much but uncover what God has already placed in us.
Reading this morning Romans 1 and 2. And Romans 1 talks about presenting our bodies to God as a whole, living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. That is our spiritual act of worship. So that's the physical concept in terms of who we living for, what are we working for, and how we utilize in this temple. And then the mental part is Romans 12, verse 2, where do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. And then we will know what God's good, pleasing, and perfect will is. So now, I thought about this morning, it's both aspects in terms of the mind-body concept from way back in the ancients. Right there in those two verses talk about the mind-body in terms of us reconnecting. First, in terms of how do we utilize our bodies, what we put into our bodies, but also in terms of what we put into our mind. If we understand and go back to the concept of how important the connection is in the mind-body, that's the beginning of us saying, okay, what am I living for? Who am I living for? Why am I living for? Why am I doing the things I'm doing? Analyzing what's really happening around us that's going into us, and be like, what is the truth about this whole situation? What is it? Yes, on a carnal level, worldly level, what is it that I want for myself? But then what is it that the Most High desires from me?
Exactly. That's it right there. And that's why Ecclesiastes, it says that he who finds God young it's one of the greatest things that could happen to you, right? Because when you could find God at a young age and hold on to it and hold on to God, going through that socialization that you're going to encounter in society, right? What you tend to do is exactly that. You don't conform to the world, but you are transformed constantly by the renewal of your mind, by the encounter that you have in God, because society kind of forces one inwards, right? But if it's what we do when we go inwards, right? A lot of us, including myself, we go to that negative place. We go to the place created in society. You know what I mean? That place that tell us that we're not good, that place where we doubt ourselves, that place where fear dwells, right? Because fear dwells in this world. So we go to that fearful place, right? But if we could find God at a young age, then what it would do, it would send you to a faithful place, right? This where we tap into our power, where we realize that the so-called negativity only exists to help us advance to the level that we came here to advance, and that is to be conscious in God, right? And I think we lose that purpose by pursuing the desires of the body. It's like exactly what you just said. The flesh was given to the spirit to be sacrificed. It's a living sacrifice, right? And the sacrifice is painful. And many of us avoid the pain. And by avoiding the pain, we are avoiding the sacrifice and therefore can't evolve to the place that we need to be in spirit because we are not making the sacrifice. Instead, we are indulging in the pleasure, which takes you away from the evolution of the spirit. You understand what I'm saying? Because we are moving away from God.
Join the conversation by sharing your thoughts in the comments.
Be well and be blessed.